Chart Mastery, another live stream. I'd taken some time off doing these just because, you know, I had my last stream. Last time I streamed, I'd called it the bear market synopsis, and I had posted my targets. Still seeing stream offline for some reason on TradingView. I'm not seeing anything. Let me go ahead and I'm just refreshing here. All right, here we go. It looks like we're up and running. And so my last stream was, I don't know, like a little over a month ago, like 5 weeks ago. And it was called Bear Market Synopsis. And we were trading like right here, right? Ether had broken down my red line. And when we did that, I said, hey guys, like we need to position ourselves short because we're going straight down to the white line, right? Like historically, that's played out. Even though we don't see it on ETH, I'll highlight why I had that level, right? And how this one played out in Discord. I signaled shorts all over here, right? We shorted 1913, we shorted 1700, right? We shorted here, we shorted here, shorted here. I tried to short every single one of these dead pumps for this move down, and I closed all my shorts at 1200 and just kind of tried a few longs. And I did tweet like the bottom right here, and I'll go over those. I'll go over all of that. So what I'm gonna do in today's stream is I'm gonna highlight what I said before the crash, right? How we got to where we are, and why I think the crash is over, right? That being said, I'm not saying we're gonna go parabolic again. We might go sideways for 2 years and just shit chop, right? But I think the big move down is officially over. We're probably gonna. We have the potential to retrace back towards the previous swing low, but I don't think we're going to make a new low. And I'll highlight why. But before we do all that, right, just want to like toot the horn a little bit. This was the 1913 short I was talking about that I closed out at 1200. And going through these, right, like June 9th, I'm like, dang it, these charts need rugs, not drugs. We had a 1700 short. So I've been bearish, right? I've been bearish since last stream. Now I think the market's starting to turn. These are basically from our Discord. ETH at my short target and so forth. So if you guys shorted with me, good job. If you didn't short with me, I don't know what you thought was going to happen. If you thought this time it was going to be different, but it really wasn't. What else? One last thing I want to highlight off our Twitter. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at CoinOBS, because what I did here was, this was June 18th when we were making that bottom. You know, I said, hey, broker, please 100x long fills everything. And for context, I put that chart up for reference. We're at 903 on Ether, right? And if you go to the 3-day chart, right, that was pretty much. I'm going to go ahead and remove drawings. And I'm just going to recenter my chart for TradingView, right? And I mean, if that wasn't a good bottom call, it was pretty close to bottom, right? The actual wick low on this candle was, should be up here, was 879, right? So on the way up, 903 was giving me indication that it was actually done selling, right? That we're done selling. And we got these numbers with various methods, a couple of methods, right? And I think this was just a fib retracement. It was a fib level from one of these major swings. And it was also my MA on the 3-day. I'm not going to mention what the moving average is on stream. If you're in Discord, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So the 898, 900 level, right? It was actually the 61.8 of the previous range, right? So if we zoom out here, right? And this was that 61.8 of that really big swing. And if we also look at this chart, right, these fibs are still in play. We saw support here. We saw the top of 48. We saw the 3,500. Trading a resistance. We saw support at 2222. So these fibs are still very much in play, right? Now, why do I think that we're not going to make another low, right? And let's remove drawings, right? So if we look at what happened here, volume really came in at the fib level and my 3-day MA, right? The 3-day MA, I'm not going to talk about what time frame or what period. If you look at BTC USD during COVID crash, we never actually got to it. I'm going to look up like BLX, right? Just because it's probably no drawings on that one. This seems to be like a safeguard level, right? Where I think the market agrees that we shouldn't go any lower. Like during the 2018 bear market, post bubble, right? We never pulled back, not even to that. If you go to the 2-day, these call them market bottom MAs, right? The 2-day market bottom MA, we hit it and it held up. During this was 2018 bear market. Even if we go to even before then, right? 2015 bear market. We got down to it and tried to trade below it, but once again, market was agreeing that we should not trade below this number. Now, during COVID, it was a liquidity grab. It was a little different. We traded below it, but once we got above that 2-day, things got interesting. It went right back up to the upside. Let me know how my audio is. I tweaked the mic a little bit today because I hadn't streamed in a while. So once we got onto that MA, once we closed above it, right, during COVID crash, the chart went up. Like, we were done selling. So to assume that, this time, right now, BTC is still below it. ETH is above the 2-day. But to assume that, we're actually going to knock down a lower level, that'd be very worrisome, right? I think if we do get down to 16K, I'd fucking long it, right? Like, if BTC, based on the reaction we saw on Ether, by touching this magic moving average, right? On BTC, it's around 16,230. If we were to get there, I would freaking throw everything I have at it, 100x leverage, long it, because, like, historically, these markets do not pull back to these levels. They don't. If they do, it's a gift, right? And to think that, we're going down to 2K or 3K or whatever, right? Like, it's funny. There's some people out there that, when I was shorting at 1900, they were like, no, this time is different. We're going back up, right? And now that we're down, they're like, oh, I'm going to short BTC from 20K to 16K or to 12K. It's like, you missed the big short, right? I don't think it's time to, like, think we're going to get rid of shorting anymore, because we did catch that mega 40% move that I was talking about a little over a month ago. So after a 30% move down, right, I would not think that we're getting another 40% move down, right? If anything, like I highlighted this in Discord today in our leverage chat, that Ether is above our 2-day MA and BTC isn't, right? So if this holds, then we might be seeing that pullback that we saw like pre-COVID, and this thing can swing back up, right? So this is really critical for ETH. Now, if we were to knock down today's lows, what levels am I looking for, right? And this is where the bear market synopsis kind of drags out a little bit. So for that to happen, I'd say today's lows have to be taken out, right? And once they do get taken out, I'm talking like savagely taken out, then I start looking for a 50% bullish retracement and a 61.8% bullish retracement. Right. And what I mean by bullish retracement is pulling back towards the previous low. Let's save this. I don't need this one anymore, I don't think. Right. Just kind of where I'm setting my alerts, you guys better set the same damn alerts. Especially if you're watching this stream and you don't follow me, or you're not in Discord, or you're not following us on Twitter. So I think one potential, right, to see like another meltdown to 1079, maybe 1032, right? At this point, I'd throw a lot of money at 1032, right? So if you're here and you're long on leverage and you're kind of maxed out on capital, I don't think it's time to max out on capital, right? I think you better have some funds saved aside to long these two numbers, right? Because historically, it's just what happens, right? During these longer retracements. I mean, we've studied BTC bear markets. We've done these over and over and over again, these streams. How COVID was different, right? And here, even in 2018, we had a mega 786 retracement, which is usually not like the most bullish. But then when we started seeing the other impulses, right? So we had a 786 that pulled back to 61.8 and then rallied off to 786. But then on that next one, right? I think you want to save money for these moves, right? For that 161.8 bullish retracement that freaking sticks. And at that point, right? This one didn't even barely kiss the 61.8 right here on the daily. You see that? So we want to start seeing something like this develop, whether it's on a 2-hour chart, a 4-hour chart, 15-hour chart. The idea is we want to see a retracement back down towards where we saw volume come in and print that bottom, right? RK Gooley, what trend lines are you talking about, man? Sorry, I'm 2 minutes. I don't know what I was doing 2 minutes ago. Like what chart I was on. You're talking about the white lines. I'm not telling you on stream. I'm sorry. I'm saving that for my Discord VIPs. If you're talking about these lines, these are fib extensions and retracements. In terms of BTC fibs, we can get rid of all these now because we're in a different state of affairs, right? If we extend our COVID, not even COVID, 2019, 2018, right? Biddy held up at why is my mouse being finicky, right? We held up, right? 18067 was a fib level. And ironically, look at this, man. This shit lines up perfectly. 69654 was a top. 46467 was resistance. Here we had this intraday rejection, this wick at 402, 40K 248, right? And then here, once we broke below 30K, bam, like this is, anybody that tells you fibs don't work, just send them to my channel, please. All right. So if BTC was to follow what Ether just did, right, then at that point I would, I think, looking at that 3-day chart, if you get a print of 16.6, that'd be great, like for a long. I'm not shorting this move down. I'm just looking along it, unless we get another like failed 61.8 on an intraday where we get some kind of upward 61.8 retracement. They'd want to short it. The last one, I filled a short. I didn't quite signal it. I wasn't confident in it. And I got stopped out like a lot of times, getting myself in that position at 21,500, right? So think pull back here, right? And I'm still looking for that 61.8 retracement. So on BTC, I posted these 61.8 and 50%, right, at 19.6 and 19.166. I posted those in Discord and the BTC channel itself. So if you haven't checked that, it'll tag everyone. You should have checked it. You should have gotten an alert. All right. That's all I've got on the majors, right? How long has it been? 15 minutes of highlighting my view. You guys have any charts you want me to look at? Go ahead and show me your ticker requests. Taking ticker requests. If you don't have any ticker requests, I'll probably just kind of go over charts that I want to go over, and then from there we'll call it a day. I want to go over the ES next, S&P. You guys in Discord, man, y'all know. As soon as we broke that linear trend line, I said, "Hey, I think this is where we bear trap, right?" I think it was funny. I based this just off Janet Yellen. I'm like, she's a dinosaur. She's probably a trend line trader, and if she's gonna call in the plunge protection and even just slow down this market, it's going to be on a trend line break, right? And literally, this was a Friday. I think it was Friday the 17th or something. And I said, hey guys, I'm buying some calls. I think we're going up. I think this price action under the trend line is a bear trap. Ironically, at the same time, Ether rang that 3-day MA, right? So these markets are pretty much in the gutter. Where is this going to next? I think we're at a 50% retracement right now. There's likely room for a 61.8. It's looking rather shaky, right? It's looking shaky above the 50%. On the daily, it looks like a wick so far, and now the 4-hour is struggling to close above. So ideally, we want to see this go up another leg. It's not quite as wedgy as I'd love for it to be, right? I don't know if we're going to see a massive move up. We can throw on some of the indicators on here, right? We can throw on some harmonics. Maybe there's something that I'm missing visually. It's not as wedgy as I'd like it to be. I think QQQ is wedgier, right? Tech. Was it? I did take profits on the TQQQ today, the ultra long that we bought. I'll pull up that chart shortly, right? So this one's looking a little bit more wedgier, right? So we might get a breakout. I think from here, though, I think we're going to see another pullback. That's why I took profits today, just to kind of slow down the momentum, right? Because if it starts squeezing right now, there's some unfilled gaps. There's an unfilled gap at 285. It looks like there's another gap at 275, right? I think we bull trap a little today, end of the week, right? We go sideways. We drop to 279 on the Qs, and then we go for the pumper, right? I think that's what happens. Don't quote me on that, but you could. If it goes right, you can quote me on that. I don't think it's going to go that high, right? I think, like, if we do that, then we probably run up into like the next 61.8, right? So put us at 332. So I think once we pull back to here, we'll get some 332 calls that are like a few months out, right? Chop them on a low premium day, on a down day, buy these calls that are out of the money and just kind of let it ride like we did on the Janet Yellen trend break day, right? On the PPT day. You guys on the tube, man. Zero comp. Oh, I see it. What's up, Steven? What's up, Shutdown? I covered SPY. Trading View, you guys get any chart suggestions for me? Just me and myself today. That's it. Man. A little disappointed. I guess that's what happens when I don't stream all the time. But I mean, there's really nothing going on other than down candles, and we're getting paid, so I didn't want to do an update until I had one. All right, fam. Thank you guys for tuning in to today's stream. I might do another one Wednesday. Let's see how this market progresses. Let's see how I'm doing. And like the stream times, because it was a bear market, I was working on my bear mode and been hitting the gym at like noon every day since markets are selling. So like if you had a short and you go work out and you come back, and great. And if you got some longs, then not so great, right? I've been working on my bear mode, bear market mode, right? And yeah, feeling pretty good. So Amazon, man, I think if it can hold that 11,112, right? The 112, that's good. They did just do a split. Yeah, they did do a split. I'm like, what? How is it so cheap, man? So they just did a split. I don't like splits. Don't like reverse splits. Don't like any kind of split, right? But potentially what we're seeing on Amazon, right, is like a liquidity move below a 61.8. Now, what we've seen on Amazon before, I'm just going to highlight these, is like when it does come down to 61.8 and close above, it's a buy the fucking dip move, right? Like BTFD, excuse my French. So, looking at all these moves, thing, if I'm right about this being a crypto bottom, right? If I'm right about this where we were on Ether, I think we're looking at one of these liquidity moves where like almost like COVID crash, where we can buy a lot of things on the cheap and not worry about them ever again, right? Like a few weeks ago, back to Twitter, I was tweeting things like, "Hey, RK is back at COVID low." Like I had a thread going. We're looking at it right now, right? If PPT is activated today, I told you so, right? So this was on the QQQ, right? Being back at the election dip levels, right? Like pre-election when people like, oh, we got another crash coming. No, right? So you're telling me that, since then and now, like assets have been devaluated, right? Or like there's been less value created, especially on something like RK, right? I tweeted this one at 38, and I'm like, hey, we're back at COVID fib levels, right? It doesn't make any sense to go back in time 2 years on these innovation stocks, right? Like it doesn't make sense to be devalued so much. So back to looking at Amazon, right? If this can keep its shit together at these levels, it's gonna be great. I don't know if I'd gamble some options. Maybe it's time to gamble some options on this one, right? On the daily, doesn't look too sexy. Let me try a 2-day chart. Boom, like my 2-day MA has Amazon. I mean, last time we did this was 2004, 2009, right? I think when we were closing above this, it's shut down. If you're in a buying dips, buy the dip. Not financial advice, but if you like to buy the dip, it's a good dip. All right. All right, Vice Prez. Miss seeing you in here. Well, I haven't been in here either, so. All right, let's do Matic USD T. I mean, a lot of things are going to run, right? You bet shut down. Hey, tell a friend next time. Bring a friend. So, I don't have any moving averages on Matic, right? But what I do have is fibs. What's going on here? Where does it do that? All right, so I feel like now it's kind of stuck. As bullish as this looks, right? As bullish as this move looks, I would look for a bullish 50% retrace, right? So if I'm not gonna long like right now. If this hits 471, you bet I'm gonna probably take a long, and then I'd probably, if that gets stopped, I'd try again at 44. Here, 471 and 434, right? I will actually set alerts for this. Thank you for bringing it up. And I'm talking leverage longs, right? I could just buy the dip on with cash, but nobody got time for that. These are actually like pretty good cash buying times. If you got the cash, when everybody says cash is king for too long, you have to realize that cash is no longer going to be king. If that's been the motto, right? Like when the motto is like, oh, everything's going to zero, everything goes like halfway down. And when everybody's convinced it's going to zero, what happens? It goes back up, right? Like remember COVID crash, right? Economy's going to zero. No, it ran up. I'm not gonna get into like recession specifics, right? That's not my forte, but charts are. All right. What else? Is that it? All right, that's it. Thank you all for tuning into today's stream. If you're not in Discord, join Discord. Hit the link in our link tree, right? And follow us on Twitter, y'all. Like I called so many shorts on the way down, like the bullish retracements, the fake outs, the fake out pumps before the drop. I shorted every one of them. I even called them on Twitter, and then I announced where bottom was. So just follow us on there, guys. Interact with us on there. Smash a like on something that you like. If you're not in Discord, Twitter is going to be like the next outlet where you can get real-time information, but not every move, right? If you're in Discord, you're going to get every move that I see. If you're not, then Twitter's free. All right, fam. Thank you guys for tuning in to the stream. Much love for everybody. I'll be back on Wednesday. If you guys are fired up on Wednesday, and if there's more people, we'll keep the train going. We'll go back to 3 times a week instead of just when I have an update. All right. Love you all. Take care.